Oh Lord. Again. A fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fucking
Hello, everybody. This is my Epic 7 RTA content. I don't actually just play Genshin. I enjoy playing a wide variety of games. But yeah, last season I hit Emperor in RTA, and now I'm just here to reclimb up. If I had to describe my playstyle in Epic 7, I would say that it is somewhat a mix between cleave and aggro. Like, I guess it would be what some streamers would describe as first pick cleave, where I pick pretty standard, if not aggressive picks at first, and then if they don't speed contest me, then I will straight out cleave them. I ban Ran and Bellion because it gives me the most flexibility, because I actually don't have a Ran built. I just have a profile picture to bait other people that I do. And Bellion is just really fucking annoying. And I do enjoy using Steny a lot, so it does kind of... It's just really annoying and I don't want to deal with it. So, my favorite first pick is Pera, because my Pera is around 310 speed, so she can pretty much fit well into anything. Like, I can use her to contest speed against cleavers and race. I can use her as an initiator. I can use her as like a pusher of sorts with certain heroes. And then my backbone characters otherwise is Steny and Hwyang for like neutral DPS picks. Not the best into cleave, but they're pretty good into everything else. And then I use Amelia to enable whatever else. Like, I can use her to push up Ida if I have to. I can use her to push up Landy, for example. So, in this match, like a lot of others, I first pick Pera, and since they pick some pretty neutral picks like C. Lilius and Hand Guy, I go with Steny and Amelia. Amelia is... I prefer taking Amelia into C. Lilius, as she can either cleanse off all the attack down and push someone back up for whoever she turned back. Whoever she pushed back with her S2. Hand Guy and C. Lilius are both single target for the most part, so that's why I picked Steny. And then when he picks Politis and Rylet, I don't really care about Rylet, to be honest. So I just pick Acid to get rid of the Politis or C. Lilius, and Ida to just cleave him because his team's hella slow. And then I have to ban out Violet in case he bans out Steny. So he bans out Ida, which honestly doesn't really matter because once I get rid of Politis, it's kind of all over for him. Oh, my Pera goes first, which is no surprise to anybody. I'm like, is this fun to watch? I'm not much sure, but I have a lot of fun winning. So, yeah. There's not much to explain because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I will say that a lot of people don't like this meta, but honestly, I'm pretty ambivalent towards it. I don't hate it, don't love it. It's okay, I guess. I go into C. Lilius here because I can just purge off everything with Amelia, and the buff strip already happened. No, I already got attack buff from Pera, so I don't really care if she debuffs me. I don't think my Steny will cut with the S2 because of Politis's fair and balanced S2. So, there's that, but I think I just ram all my damage into Rylet to see how it happens. Yeah. But I do need to regear my units because currently my Ida is not super well speed tuned currently. Wait, do I lose this? Wait, I went into this thinking that I was gonna win. Oh! Tragic. It's because I couldn't stabilize another turn. Maybe I should have killed the Sea Lilius and pushed everyone back and see if I could lap around for another turn in hindsight, but it's fine. We're fine. Now we're back against Emperor players where it's back to me banning the same shit. Oh, I do ban Bellion a lot because I have a really soul heavy playstyle. And that is another reason why I have to ban Bellion, other than her incredibly annoying counters. See, I don't know why I pretended like I was thinking here when I was just gonna slam down Pera like every degenerate. Oh, and they slam down Sea Lilius. Can you come up with something else? And you know. Whoops. Maybe I should speed this up. But you know, that's a lesson for another time. This is a first time that I am trying this out. Oh, so let me tell you a fun story. My Vildred, my Weedred, is geared okay, but he doesn't actually have any imprints in this right now. So I am just threatening that I have imprints so that other people don't try to continue with imprints, you know? This is weird. This is weird cleavers, pretend cleavers racing each other. I think I have to put, if I want to do this, I have to put Sashay on RGB Shuri too. I have to ban out Sage Ball because I can't do anything about him. I honestly don't remember how this goes out. So I think I try to push back. I have no other choice but to push back Celius. And luckily my Ida is fast enough to outspeed the RB to do Ida shit. And here, this is not an ER BBK, so it's already kind of donezo. RB can't 1v for this. I don't think. Because I have evasion on... Oh no, I just outspeed. Oh, I'm that good. Oh, it's hard work being good at this game, you know? Just have really good speed. Oh, just kidding. I don't kill him, but it's fine. Ida has skill now, and she can just lap back around. Clap his cheeks. Yeah, remember when I said Weezer was geared well? Yeah, he's not in this either, because I have to re-gear all my units. Like, for example, I used to run, like, a cheesy Ida cleave with my own Mediator Cowrick, so she had to be slow enough that she couldn't RNG outspeed him. And since he was only 255, my Ida is only around 235, 240? Yeah, see? My Weedred has no imprints. I'm just bluffing that he does, just in case people try and race me to discourage them. You know? I do give him one here, but a lot of people get really hung up in like, oh, you have to have like the best gear to do this or that. And I think a little differently. I think that if you draft or play in a way that kind of encourages the other people to do what you want, that's like some big mind games, you know? Like, for example, last season when I hit Emperor for the first time, my Sea Lilius was only around 270-ish speed, but I slammed her down like she was 300, and then people have to respect that in Emperor. So I think it's a lot about the mind games, and then just because, yes, there will be cases where people just gear gap you, but you aren't gonna, like, I just accept that I'm not gonna win those anyway. So I try to win the other ones through like a bit of mind games, you know? Like, if someone picks like a Pera Sea Lilius against you, you kind of have to respect the fact they're most likely going to be around or above even 300 speed. So you can't just go, you have to respect that. So I like, that's how a lot of how I play around. Like, for example, I pick BBK. I'm a big proponent of not having immunity. I hate immunity. I hate Azimanac. I hate farming rage gear. I hate farming immunity gear. So I hate Rimuru for everything except for the one thing that he made immunity unpopular. So nobody made fun of me for not having immunity on my shit. So that's what I like about him. yeah, it's just you have to know. I think RTA doesn't require as good gear quality as you might expect because my units, except for with the exception of a few, are not geared all that well. I just draft towards my I draft in a way that complements my roster. But that is not without issues. Like I have a very small hero pool, especially in here, so it's very apparent. So when people start picking stuff like Amelia and Steny away from me, I end up getting more and more stuck. Uh, just because I don't have a lot of options, and then while my units have a lot of synergy together, my other units that I do have geared, they're kind of geared kind of questionably. Anyway, in this scenario, I don't bother banning Politis because I really don't care what Politis does. Because either my Peyra pushes Politis either to the front with her combo, or Amelia does it. And since Amelia pushes her by so much, and Ida is a water unit, it's less likely that she'll be affected by Politis' bullshit. So Politis, I don't really like her that all too much, honestly. I would rather use other units. Like, see here, Politis does her shit, doesn't really matter. She's about to get Ida comboed. Like, the very skillful playstyle that I have. So yeah. Some units I am looking into building are Hand Guy, RGB Hand Guy. And I want to re-gear my BBK, because my BBK right now, it's okay. It's not geared the best. Well, this was a Crown Politis, so I guess I could have lost. But, you know, justice, or whatever. It's justice because I'm winning. So, you know how it is. And then BBK does her thing. You can't go back. Like, I use BBK so much. I didn't have BBK. I started this game when the Archdemon Mercedes banner was out. And I recently got BBK. So I didn't have BBK for like a year and a half. But now that I have her, I'm so glad because with her buffs, she's actually a very versatile, aggressive unit. I don't think that she's cleave only because if you draft her into lineups that don't really have strips or hard CC, which is not as uncommon as you think because of the Dilberts and hand guys running around, that she can actually put in a lot of work and she does so much damage. But yeah. I'm getting into voiceovers, so it is kind of awkward. And I guess the sound quality isn't bad because I told my friend that I do like making content, and I do want to get into like Twitch streaming eventually, but not for games. Like, do you know what Lily Pichu and Jenna Marbles kind of do, where they just kind of like live their life and like fuck around? Like, that's what I want to stream on Twitch. And sometimes that's video games, sometimes that's like making food, sometimes it's like eating food. I don't know, but excuse me. I think I'm interesting. So, yeah. So, oh, let me tell you, I really do not like Aureus holders. Like, I don't like Troublemaker. I don't like Carmen. I really don't like FCC. Because they're like the biggest cock blockers ever. Like, last season when I didn't really have the most, or wall breakers sufficiently built, like, it was such a struggle. Like, I hated Charlotte because some of my only wall breakers were Steny and Landy, and Charlotte would dick both of them. But now in this meta, I can just pick Ida and brute force my way through them, so that's nice. I don't know what he's gonna do, but people really like Dilbert, but I only think Dilbert's really good into like traditional defense break cleaves, like the Flan or the Rand cleaves. Otherwise, Peyra can just press S3 and it's so fine. Like, Ida, I guess it denies Cease area, but Ida's just fine. And I use Ida so much. And I do use a really fast Landy, so I can push my other units up. When I re-gear my units, I'll have RGB hand guy take a lot of the gear, because right now my Landy, she is fast, but she is too squishy. So if I want, one of my favorite uses on Landy is with Para, and then I can Landy cleave Rimuru pickers, filthy, disgusting Rimuru pickers, and that should be enough to dent the team enough and push them enough that Rimuru can't actually cut. And I needed Para because I needed her escort buff, the Super Aureas, to help Landy survive. But if I push Landy down into like 250 speed and I'll have like a 275 speed RGB hand guy, I can use RGB hand guy as an activator into like Cease area or whatever I want to pick, and then it'll just be a shifting of priorities. I actually do have like a SSS Triple S Silver Blade Araminta that I want to experiment using. It's just not the easiest to use because there's so many Dilberts and hand guys running around, but it's less important. I would say hand guy isn't a great counter to Silver Blade Araminta because she pushes back now, so all the units will take at least one turn of burn if hand guy is pushed back enough. So yeah, hopefully this season, I don't know if I can make it to legend. Like I'm just like kind of reluctant to try because I have last season I did face against people like FG Merlin whom I beat. I had a speed route last season. I was like 265 and he like had enough damage to one shot LQCs. Like it was like some good shit. But I also went up against Jenna's dad this one time, but he clapped my ass because my gear wasn't that great at the time, so there's that. Anyway, we're having another cringe cleaver race off. Sorry. I caught COVID recently, so like this whole thing. I threatened with speed imprints, but I think he's gonna ban Red Shuri, so I have to ban a speed imprint, except I don't actually remember how much speed Celeste gives. So I have to ban her in case she has a really high speed imprint, but I think the other two gave a bit more. I think she only gives 9, I think? Not sure. Anyway, his team is a lot slower than I thought, because if this Sid was like 300 speed, I would have fucking lost. But I S3 into Bryce area first, so just in case my Ida fails to strip on her S2, I can just rely on the stun to get by instead. And then this is where I find out that this is an ERBBK. It's actually not the worst thing in the world because since Watcher, Shuri, and Ida both have skill null, it's guaranteed that both will at least survive for S3. And then hope... Oh no, I don't have Watcher Shuri. It's okay. Acid has evasion, so we're just banking on the fact that she'll miss. So hopefully if she misses on Acid, so more than one unit survives. Otherwise, it's gonna be real fucking bad. Luckily, Justice, none of my units... Well, only Weedred dies, so I don't know. Her BBK is just a low damage build, I guess. Not enough gear quality. I honestly don't know why she went into Acid right there, because I think if she went into Acid, she might have been able to lap with the 50% CR push, but it's fine. We win, so all is good. It's all good, no problem. But yeah, look at that. My win rate is above 70, even though it used to be 69. But it's fine. Like, my win rate will go down. I started this climb off with like a win rate of like 85%. But it'll go down. My win rate last season at its peak was in Emperor like 59%, but then Para came out and I didn't have the gear for Para, so my win rate like crashed and burned to 52%. It was like the worst shit ever. Like, oh my god. But this season they said that they'll apply the worldwide bans, so I don't have to deal with the new units bullshit until much later. So hopefully they'll keep their word on that. But yeah. I really don't see all the hype against Dilbert. Like, yeah, she's good against certain setups, but against a lot of others, she isn't. And this guy picks Ida with only one activator, so it opens me up to just continue to race. Because, I don't know. I always think Ryan is not great here. For Rylet to be good, he needs to be on that speed build. Or else it's just not that great. Like you see here, that when a lot of my unit choices are blocked out, I don't know. My unit pool is so small, it's hard to find units that I can flex into. So I just take Watcher Sure here because he can be used as like a very generic DPS. And he picks into it, so it's all good. Maybe this Rylet is 280 speed, but I really doubt it. We're not in that high elo yet, so hopefully my Acid can outspeed and one tap this Ida and go from there. It turns out this is a speed Rylet, but not that fast. Just kind of fast. Because my Hwayoung is like 241 speed, so it is a pretty fast. I mean, it's a medium speed Rylet, so not good enough to outspeed too much, honestly. And then my Watcher Sure is about to clap these Aravi's cheeks, and then Hwayoung. My Hwayoung is on L's Fist because it's the only artifact I have. But since Merciless Glutton is in the store, I am actually considering selling some of my unused artifacts and going for Merciless Glutton copies. I just have to wait for the collab that's running around. I need to wait and see sorry. My brain is just really slow. I have to wait and see if I can pull a copy of the artifact from the new limited, or else I'm just gonna buy Merciless Glutton copies. I actually maxed out a copy of Vidrid's artifact because someone told me that it was Cleaver gear, and I was like, oh, I want to be Cleaver, and I maxed it, so. Fun. I don't know what I'm looking at, but sneak peek at an account review, question mark? I don't know. I do like Epic 7 I do like Epic 7 as a game. Like, I'm not gonna lie that Epic 7 has a few inherent flaws in the system. But a lot of people complain. Like, I remember watching this one streamer who, like, this is like no shade. This is just like my opinion. They wanted to pick fun picks. And I'm like power to you. I do that all the time. I pick Silverblade Armenta and she's not that great, but I have a lot of fun, so like whatever. But they would complain that they could not compete in higher ranks because the cookie cutter meta, not their words, it's my words. Like, the cookie cutter meta was too oppressive for them, and it's like, I kind of have mixed feelings about that. Like, yes, that they are over centralizing and oppressive, but if you know that that's what you're going up against in the higher ranks, more likely than not, like, and you don't pick around that, because it's not like they picked like meme picks that would counter the meta. It was just meme picks that they wanted and liked. So when that inevitably gets crushed by the cookie cutter, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you knew it was gonna happen, so I don't, like, you're just complaining for the sake of complaining, you know? That's just my hot take. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But I think it's just an opinion, so there isn't a wrong or right. I don't know about picking ML Ken with Hwayoung on the board. My Hwayoung is low HP. She only has 11k HP, but she has high defense to make up for it. And it lets me punch holes in fucking it lets me punch holes into units that aren't even that tanky, but they're bruiser-ish. So I push up Hwayoung here just so I don't have to deal with Remover's bullshit. Oh no, I just cleanse. Never mind. I just cleanse because I can just eat a push up Hwayoung and it'll be fine. Excuse me. Voiceovering is hard. Like, I'll have to try and not do it for so long. Oh, and then I forgot. This is where you got, like, Ida gets, like, triple penetrated by all these counters, so that was fun. But we should still be fine because this Rimuru cannot kill my Hwayoung. He just can't. He's not strong enough. And I wish they wouldn't. What I don't like about Smilegate is that when they reduced the damage of off element damage because of Hwayoung and Rimuru, it kind of hurts units like Zahak. Zahak, a big strength of Zahak was that he was very element neutral single target DPS. But now you can't even do that anymore because the damage reduction means that even with attack buff, into stuff like Hwayoung, he won't do as much damage because I do have a almost max limit broken Little Queen's Crown that I was considering using on Zahak to snipe out Hwayoungs, but I can't do that because of damage reduction. Anyway, this is where the L's Fist Hwayoung really comes in because with L's Fist, my Hwayoung can reach speeds of over 300. Like, because she laps that fast, especially with her S1 push. So even though this doesn't look that great, I think I still might have a shot, depending. But if I remember correctly, this Rimuru just continues to crit me over and over again. So I'm just checking to see if... So what I think I should have done here is finish off the Rimuru, because Rimuru is the biggest threat because he's the only one that turn cycles, like, in a time appropriate manner. And then it would have let me avoid that S2 damage, which he hit me on. So it would have been fine if he missed here, but he didn't because there's no justice. In all reality though, I might have lost anyway because I got countered to death by the ML Ken. But it happens. We're still above 70% win rate, so we're still good at this game. Or so I tell people. Yeah. The Emperor Climb last season wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like, it did not feel good because Hwayoung came out, and then my picks last season really centered around hand guy A-Robbie abuse. And then Hwayoung kind of fucks all that up by being Hwayoung. So that was not fun, but I managed to slip in at the end. I think I had like really funny pictures of people picking like SC Wanda and Bazaar into me. So thank you, people who donated their points to me. I really needed that boost. I hope you made it into Emperor. I remember I caught Mythrander, another YouTuber, E7 YouTuber, and they would fuck me up with their Archdemon Shadow, and like, oh my god, I hate Archdemon Shadow. One of those casino style units, which is why I'm so grateful for Quiet existing, so I don't have to deal with their bullshit anymore. But yeah, this person picked Celilius and Poultice, so just to be safe, I pick Acid and Watcher Shuri, because either I ban Celilius and just blow up the Poultice, or it just opens me up, like in case they race. And yeah, Watcher Shuri is actually a lot better of a pick than I think people give him credit for, because speed is king, as we all know, and he is like a very generic one-tap units that don't have T-Cern's passive. And he picked Dian. I really hate Dian too, by the way, this season, because the fact that she can be built like 290 speed, and with Magaharas, she can lap back to S2 after S3, and she's really annoying. I think I remember how this game goes, and I think this is one of those like really fast Dian. Excuse me. And since this guy didn't pick a lot of AoE, I'm just free to pick the same stuff. I think this is a mistake. I think I should have banned Dian here if I want to do this, because Dian cleanses on her S2, whereas Celilius does not. Even though Celilius would have been incredibly fucking annoying. So I don't have much choice but to try and stun this DN. So I see if I can CC this DN, and it turns out this DN isn't super high effectiveness, so I can stun lock her. So that's what I started doing. And since my Wachu Shuri has Sachet Thanis, I don't know. I kill this politics so I get the max value, and then from here I'm free to do cringe cleaver stuff. I think I go into A-Ravi to stun here because it gives me the most options. I can either, if I stun A-Ravi, I can kill Ida, and if I don't stun A-Ravi, I can just monkey into it with Watch Your Shuri again. And since she's still restricted, I can just ram all my units into her now, which is what I proceed to do. But yeah, I would say that if people want to try RTA, they should. They just need to be realistic with your gear. Like, I will never be like light. I will never be a cleaver like light. I am stuck to playing aggro and like first pick cleaving, and I'm okay with that. I have my peace with that. So I build units that complement my playstyle. Like, you don't see me building like a 250 Pavel and then crying on Reddit that I can't use Pavel correctly, because that just doesn't make sense. Also, I should have not stunned DN here, and I should have just pressed S3 with Peira, but I didn't know if my Hwayoung would lap the DN in time, so Ida gets to come back. But I don't think without attack buff, Ida can actually kill my Steny, because she is a high damage build, but she has some bulk to survive. But I'm really proud of my Steny stat line, actually, to be honest. Anyway, it's Steny versus Ida and A-Ravi, but I don't think my opponent can win this because Hwayoung is fair and balanced, and Steny, if you don't have reach, is also fair and balanced. Like, look at this. We're in Frenzy 2. That Soulburn couldn't even kill A-Ravi. Kind of sad, honestly, but c'est la vie, you know? And it's just over from here, because Ida can't solo. Especially not with L's Fist. Oh, Steny dies here, but, you know, Hwayoung's still fair and balanced. Fair and balanced unit. What can you do? 300 speed with L's Fist. But I'll have to think about Merciless Glutton, because Merciless Glutton is like a really ghetto Sachet Thanis, and I can live with that. I need a ghetto Sachet Thanis, because some of my units, especially at this time of this video, aren't well built. But anyway, stay tuned for more of my RTA content, and yeah.